On March 1st, drug maker Eli Lilly announced it was cutting prices of its popular insulin products by 70%. They also said they would cap out-of-pocket costs at $35 per month. They're also going to take steps to reduce the cost of insulin for uninsured patients by expanding their insulin value program. Now, this is only one drug maker that is taking these steps. The thinking is it might put a little pressure on the other insulin drug makers to follow suit. President Joe Biden celebrated Eli Lilly's announcement. He said in a statement, "For far too long, American families have been crushed by drug costs many times higher than what people in other countries are charged for the same prescriptions." And he continued, "Insulin costs less than $10 to make, but Americans are sometimes forced to pay over $300 for it," and he calls that flat wrong. He said it's a big deal and it's time for other manufacturers to follow. You might recall the Inflation Reduction Act tackled the cost of insulin, capping out-of-pocket expenses at $35 per month. But that was only for people on Mediare. It was actually discussed to cap the cost of insulin for people with private insurance, but that never made it into the final version of the bill. Some health policy experts say even if it had, it wouldn't have addressed the entire problem. The Inflation Reduction Act negotiations around private insurance never talked about the list price of insulin. It only addressed capping out-of-pocket expenses. And in order to actually save patients money, you need to do both. You have to reduce the list price and you have to cap out-of-pocket expenses. And that's what Eli Lilly said they're going to do. Now we need to look and see if the other drug makers are going to follow suit. There's pressure that has been driving these costs up over the last couple years, however, and that's the negotiations between the drug companies and the pharmacy benefit managers. Those negotiations often leave consumers out of the picture, and when the costs go up, the consumer ends up paying more. So what's next? Now we need to see what will happen with those other drug makers, and we'll see if Congress takes any action. You might recall in his State of the Union address, President Joe Biden referenced a more universal copay cap. He said there would be more details to come in the future on that, and maybe that would address insulin as well. We will watch. Other states, like California, said they're going to take their own action to reduce the cost of insulin, and we hope for more details on programs like that in the future as well. In the meantime, you can read that announcement from Eli Lilly. We link to it in the description below.